All right. Athena. All right. Yes. Come on, girl. There you are. Come on. There we go. Scooch over this way. A little bit up. Yeah. You're a sweet girl. Just my sweet girl. Yes. Yes, good girl. Good girl. All right. You ready for story time? Are you ready for story time? Maybe. Okay. Or not. Apparently not. All right. I will scooch over here. Are you gonna make your mind? All right. So tonight's selection is I Want My Hat Back, The Little Red Caboose, and Jesus the Healer. Okay. So, good sir, would you like to pick one? I Want My Hat Back. Good choice. Let's plug in your tablet here so that you have that for bedtime. Okay. So, I want my hat back. Okay. Oh, I can feel the AC right here. It's really nice. It's really warm in the other room. My hat is gone. I want it back. Have you seen my hat? No, I haven't seen your hat. Okay. Thank you anyway. Have you seen my hat? No, I have not seen any hats around here. Okay. Thank you anyway. Have you seen my hat? No, why are you asking me? I haven't seen it. I haven't seen any hats anywhere. I would not steal a hat. Don't ask me any more questions. Okay. Thank you anyway. Have you seen my hat? I haven't seen anything all day. I have been trying to climb this rock. Would you like me to lift you on top of it? Yes, please. Have you seen my hat? I saw a hat once. It was blue and round. My hat doesn't look like that. Thank you anyway. Have you seen my hat? What is a hat? Thank you anyway. Nobody has seen my hat. What if I never see it again? What if nobody ever finds it? My poor hat. I miss it so much. What's the matter? I have lost my hat and nobody has seen it. What does your hat look like? It is red and pointy and... I have seen my hat. It's still charging. You gotta let it charge. Now he's running back all the way to this rabbit. You stole my hat. Uh-oh. You're having a stare off. Hey, Athena. Is that downstairs? Athena? I love my hat. Excuse me, have you seen a rabbit wearing a hat? No, why are you asking me? I haven't seen him. I haven't seen any rabbits anywhere. I would not eat a rabbit. Don't ask me any more questions. Okay. Thank you anyway. Lay down. Do you have sweet potato on your breath? Do you eat fries? Athena, did you eat the fries? Okay, good. And that's the end. I heard you being bad down there. I know you. I know you. Trouble. Eating stuff off the counters when you shouldn't be. I know what you're doing. You think you're stealthy, but you're not. All right, buddy. Now which one? Jesus the Healer. Are you ready for this? You guys. Hear yourself. All right. One of Jesus' favorite towns was Capernaum, which lay on the northern shore of Galilee. Where you going? Where you going, homie? Jesus traveled all around the area of Galilee, meeting people and teaching, but he always came back to Capernaum. It was here that his good friend Simon Peter lived. Before he became really famous and the crowds around him became too large, Jesus often preached in the synagogue in Capernaum on the Sabbath. One day, after a service in the synagogue, Jesus went with James and John to Peter and Andrew's house. Peter had some sad news. Don't make too much noise, Peter whispered as he met them at the door. My mother-in-law is very ill. She has a bad fever, and we've sent her to bed. Take me to her, Jesus said softly. Peter led Jesus to the corner of the house where his mother-in-law lay. Jesus walked over to the bed and took her hand. She opened her eyes and smiled. Then, to Peter's amazement, she sat up. I feel much better, she said. Now out you go. I must get up and prepare your meal. Peter's mother-in-law was soon bustling about the house, slicing vegetables and boiling water. She wasn't the slightest bit tired or weak. It was as if she had never been ill at all. The news of what Jesus had done soon spread around. By sunset, there was a crowd of sick people outside. What? Hello. Well, maybe you can brush your teeth. Hello. But I don't see any loose tooth here. I don't see a loose tooth. All of those look fine to me. What? Down on there. Yes, they're in the middle. Those are big boy teeth. Those definitely shouldn't be loose, and they're not. So I don't know what your issue is. Maybe if you brush your teeth better, instead of just like, it'd be nice. By sunset, there was a crowd of sick people outside the house. It seemed as if everyone in town had come. They all waited impatiently with friends and relations who had brought them, hoping that Jesus would come out and cure them. Jesus came out and walked through the crowd, healing all the sick people one by one. Soon, sick people from all over Galilee began to seek out Jesus, hoping to be cured. One day, while Jesus was walking through a village with his disciples, a man rushed up and knelt in front of him. If you wanted to, the man said, you should cure me. The disciples shrank back in horror. The man suffered from a skin disease called leprosy. In those days, everyone was terrified of catching leprosy. Lepers were forced to leave their homes and keep away from other people. Of course I want to cure you, said Jesus. And without the slightest hesitation, he reached out and touched the leper. At once the leper was cured. Go and find a priest, Jesus told the man. Let him examine you. He will see that you are now free of the disease, and he will give you permission to return home and live with your family again. The man shouted with joy and raced off in search of the priest. Don't tell anyone what has happened to you, Jesus called out to him. But the man was too excited to keep quiet. He told everyone he knew that Jesus had made him better. And he spread like wildfire. And soon every town and village was packed with people hoping to be touched by Jesus' healing powers. Where are you going, Trouble? Hey, Trouble, get back over here. Athena, come on. I don't trust you, come on. Sometimes the crowds were so great that Jesus and his disciples could hardly move because of all the people pressing around them. Once, when Jesus was walking through a busy town in Galilee, surrounded by hundreds of people, the crowd suddenly parted. People moved back respectfully when they saw who was coming. It was Jairus. Jairus? Jairus. The leader of the town synagogue. Please help me, begged Jairus, falling to his knees in front of Jesus. My little girl is dying. If you put your hands on her, I believe she will live. Jesus took Jairus by the hand and pulled him up. We will go at once, he said. As they pushed their way through the crowd, Jesus felt someone tug at the hem of his robe. Athena, come. He stopped. Who touched me? He asked, looking around. That's an impossible question to answer, replied one of the disciples. It could have been any one of the people crowding around you. They're all trying to touch you. No, it was someone in trouble, replied Jesus. A thin, pale woman stepped forward. It was me, she stammered. I am desperate to be cured. Tell me what's wrong, said Jesus sympathetically. I have been ill for 12 years, explained the woman, with bleeding that won't stop. I've spent a small fortune on doctors, but none of them could help me. I thought that if I could just, that if I just touched you, I would be cured. And the moment I did, the bleeding stopped. Jesus smiled kindly. It was your faith in God which cured you, he said. Now go and enjoy your life and be at peace. Meanwhile, Jairus was beside himself with worry. The woman had delayed Jesus from going right away to help his sick daughter. Then Jairus' heart sank when he saw some of his servants running toward him. Your daughter has just died. They told Jairus. There's no point in troubling Jesus anymore. Jairus could hardly hold back his tears, but Jesus put his arm around Jairus' shoulders. Don't be sad, he murmured. Just trust me. Jesus told everyone except Peter, James, and John to stay behind, and the five of them hurried to Jairus' house. When they reached the house, they found the family in tears. The mourning women were already playing their flutes, tearing their clothes and weeping loudly, as was the custom. Jesus strode inside the door past the mourners, who told him had come too late. Stop all this noise, he ordered. The girl is not dead. She's only asleep. No one could believe this. Some of the mourners even laughed out loud. But Jesus ignored them and asked Jairus and his wife to lead him to where their daughter lay. Jesus knelt by the little girl's bed and took her cold little hand in his. Time to get up, little one, Jesus murmured. To everyone's amazement, the girl jumped out of bed and ran to her parents. They hugged and hugged her, and tears streamed down their faces. I think she must be hungry, Jesus smiled. Why not give her something to eat? Throughout the rest of his life on earth, Jesus carried on healing the sick. He cured people who were lame so they could walk strong and upright again. He helped the blind to see and the dumb to speak. No illness was too severe for the power of God to cure. Jesus also gave his disciples the power to heal people. They carried on with his work after his death, spreading the news of God's power and love. And so now, that just leaves us with the little red caboose. The little red caboose always came last. First came the big black engine, puffing and chuffing. Then came the boxcars. Then the oil cars. Then the coal cars. Then the flat cars. Sometimes they were switched around in different ways, but the little red caboose always came last. Boys and girls waved at the big black engine. They listened to the box cars and the oil cars and the coal cars and the flat cars go clickety clack. But by the time the little red caboose came along, the boys and girls were turning away because the little red caboose always came last. Oh, smoke, said the little red caboose. I wish I were a flat car, or a coal car, or an oil car, or a box car, so boys and girls would wave at me. How I wish I were a big black engine puffing and chuffing way up at the front of the train. But I'm just a little old red caboose. Nobody cares for me. One day the train started up a mountain. Up went the big black engine, up went the box cars, up went the oil cars, up went the coal cars, up went the flat cars, up went the little red caboose. Hang on tight, little caboose, called the flat car. This is a long, tall mountain, and you're the last car on the train. Don't I know it, sighed the little red caboose. Poor me. The train went slower and slower and slower. Soon it was hardly moving. It looked as if that train could not get up the mountain. Look out, little caboose, called the flat car. The train is starting to slip back down this long, tall mountain. Not if I can help it, said the little red caboose. He slammed on his brakes. He held tight to the tracks. He kept that train from sliding down the mountain. Then, bump, the little red caboose felt something pushing from behind. It was two big black engines. They pushed the train up to the top of the mountain. "We couldn't have done it," said the big black engine, "if it had not been for the little red caboose." Everyone cheered, and the little red caboose nearly burst with pride. Now the children waved at the big black engine and at all the cars, but they saved their biggest waves for the little red caboose, because the little red caboose saved the train. What do you think? You're busy over there watching things get crushed with the car. Someday, I will have you snuggle into me and pay attention, like when you were little. That was nice. But I get it. All right, everyone. Oh my gosh, there's actually a chat going. That's quite impressive. A little bit excited. Don't usually have that on these videos. He's using 4chan. You know, wouldn't be terribly shocked. He's hacked into my phone when it's been locked. So, but no, he watches these ASMR videos on YouTube, and right now he's watching one where a car crushes various items with its wheels. I don't know. Oh. Well, let's see what's going on in this chat here. You know, this is a little entertaining because, you know, I see these comments that are trying to attack our faith. And, you know, the funny thing is that Jesus teaches that if you are living the way he wants you to live by God's word, that people will come and attack you for it. So actually, all your attacks do by saying, you know, he's naked, he's hacking, 4chan, give me Allah stories, you know, go teach in Islam. All it really does is confirm that I am doing the correct thing according to God's word. So it's adorable, and it's a valiant effort. Nice try, but not going to work. Still going to read Christian stories. Still going to live my life as best as I can according to God's word. And I'm going to teach my son that as well. And, you know, if that's not something that you're interested in, that's cool. You don't have to watch. You know, I read stories that I feel are appropriate to my child. If you think they aren't appropriate for your children, then don't watch it. Simple as that. Doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to block the comments or anything. You do what you got to do. That's you. So for those who do watch for the stories, we will see you tomorrow night, and we will continue in our series with Jesus the Storyteller, which seems a little appropriate for what's going on there. All right, guys. We will see you all tomorrow night. Bye.